Okay. Welcome to a video about how to match colors with colored pencils. And I've got my colored pencils out. Woo! And just want to show you how to match colors correctly because it's a really good skill to have. And as you'll see, you can create some really interesting, dynamic, beautiful colors by understanding how to match correctly and how to mix correctly. So I'm just going to get a little more light in the room. There you go. That's a little better. Okay. So there's some steps that you have to take along the way, and at first when you read them, they're not going to make sense at all, but they will make sense once we actually start. So say I'm, recreating this picture and I want to recreate this color that I see here. I need to go through my steps. I want to recreate this with colored pencils. I need to go through my steps to make sure that I'm doing this correctly. Now, you can get a huge pack of colored pencils. My old roommate bought me a pretty big pack. Okay, and they have lots of different colors in them. And you might find a color that already matches that perfectly, but I'll show you why it's more beautiful to do it kind of like the old-fashioned way. So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to identify the hue on the color wheel. So this is the color that I want to recreate in here, and first thing I need to do is just determine what color it is. So I know it's in the red, in the warm colors area. Is it red? Kind of, but it does kind of look a little bit red-purple. So boom, alrighty, step one done. I know this color is red-purple. I'm going to be creating red-purple. And next is to identify if the color is dull or darkened. And if it is, then we're going to have to use some complementary colors. So I'm looking at my red-purple. And you know what? It does look a little dark. So what that means is I'm going to have to add to it the complementary color to red-purple, which is yellow-green, okay? And it'll make sense when we're doing it. Okay, now the last thing is we're going to have to start layering our colored pencils and actually start mixing the color by layering. So I'm just going to start now. I have an extra piece of paper right here. So I know that for red-purple, I'm going to have to use red and purple. Okay, and then I know that I need to dull it down with yellow-green, so I have yellow and green. Now I want to just say what not to do. We did say that this is a dark red-purple, and the common thing that students do, or not just students, but people in general, is when they see a dark color, they assume that you just add black to it. Well, I'll take my black, okay, I'll put down some black, and then I'll put some red purple down. And the unfortunate part of doing it with black is that black just kind of sucks the life out of the colors, and it makes them a lot less dynamic than what they could be. And it really, really just kind of annihilates them completely. So as you can see, it doesn't quite match right. And if I get a little closer to the camera, it really just takes the life out of the red-violet. It just starts to look more black or gray than actually colorful. So I'm going to skip on using the black. And since my color is a little dulled down, it's a little darker, I'm going to start with the complementary color first, which is in our steps. So I'm going to do a little bit of green down first. Okay, I usually like to start darker color to lighter color. Another good tip is to try and wear down the tip of your colored pencil so that it creates a little smoother coloring. Okay, if it's super pointy, it'll be really, really liney. Alright, so I'm putting my yellow-green down. Okay, and then I'm going to come in with my red-violet. So I like to put the violet down first, and sometimes it takes me a couple tries. But this is a lot more red than it is violet, so I'm going to come in with the red pretty well right now. And part of the steps put on here was to work back and forth, layering your colors as needed. So right now, I feel like mine needs a little bit more violet or purple, whichever way. It's the same thing. It's the same color. And then a little bit more red. Okay. And as you can see, it's matching! Yay! Okay. And I want to get a close-up of this so that you can see the difference, okay? Now this is the difference between us darkening a color with black versus darkening a color with the complementary color. If you get real close in here, you can see all the colors kind of chilling together and having a party, which makes this color here a lot more dynamic and interesting than this one. Okay, using black is a dangerous route to go with your colored pencils, and a lot of times with paint and with pastels as well. It's better. It's like a secret of the art community. Like, use complementary colors. Now I'll do this one more time so you can see it really works. These are my mom's cooking magazines, by the way. She was like, "Don't rip out my pictures." Okay. So now this one is tricky because I want to do this color in here, and at first your brain's gonna go, "Oh, that's sandwich, it's bread, it's brown," you know. But the truth is, if I take one of my brown color pencils, yeah, it'll be kind of similar, but it's not quite it. So if we really want to get this right and have it be really interesting, again, we have to come to our color wheel and kind of identify the hue that this is on the color wheel. Now right now this is looking kind of yellow orange, and it's a kind of a dark dullish reddish yellow orange, excuse me. So that tells me, yes, I do need yellow orange, but that I'm also going to need its complementary color, which is blue violet. Okay, so I got my yellow and orange, and I'm going to grab my blue and my violet as well. Okay, so remember that when we're doing this, we start with the complementary color, because the real color, the original color, sits on top and gets the most attention. The complementary color sits underneath and dulls down the color and darkens it from underneath. Okay, so I'm going to go down with, it's not my violet, here's my violet. Okay, a little bit, it doesn't look too dulled down, it is darkened. Okay. A little bit of blue violet. Try to make this even, Steven. Okay, and then I'm going to come in with my yellow orange. I always like to work a little darker to lighter, so I like to start with the orange and then go with the yellow, because lighter colors are typically a little weaker. So I feel like they need to sit on top and get the most attention. Okay, and it looks like, what is she doing? But I think once we do the yellow and the orange, we go back and forth a little bit, it'll come together. What is my email? Go away, email. Okay. There we go, and just work back and forth. And as you're seeing, we're getting similar colors from the bread to that. And again, if I had done just like, oh, I think this is an orangey brown, maybe I'd been like, okay, here's some brown, and here's some orange, cool. You know, all right, that's nice, yes, it matches, but I also matched this way, and there you go. It's very, very dynamic. See those wisps of color coming through. Makes it really, really interesting to look at. So there you go. That's how to match colors by mixing your colored pencils and layering them, and definitely using complementary colors. Okay, I'm just gonna write it on here. Resist using black, and also, you know, resist finding, like, you have an array of colored pencils, like, look at all these colored pencils I have. Like, resist always finding the one that already exactly matches, okay? Because when you have a color that already matches, that's nice, you put it all down, it's solid. Okay, look at that. This is one color, and this is 4 coming at me at the same time, creating a whole new color. This is more interesting than this. That's all. Hope you like this. Have a good day.